welcome. welcome to the TCAT 10-minute take. I am sorry, I am all over the place.
It's all right.
But this is where we are now. You know, sanity's fraying at the edges. But here we are with Marvel and Disney Plus helping us hold it together. And today,
before we go
Don
into
and
madness,
are talking about the Disney Plus series, the Marvel series that just wrapped up. We're going to throw this out here because we want to talk about it while it's fresh and hot off the press. We're talking about Loki.
Yeah. Oh.
But before we get started, make sure you click that subscribe button and you click that bell to get all the 10-minute takes as soon as they drop. Now, as always, I will let Mr. Chambers get his thoughts out on paper first before I go off into spirals.
It's all right. It's all right.
Go.
All right. Loki. Man. Well, let me just say, so far, the past three Marvel shows, to me, they're like 3 for 3. They're all great in their own unique ways. I'm not exactly sure how the previous two tie into what we just witnessed here, but I am more than anxious with whenever the Ant-Man movies come out, the Spider-Man, and then Doctor Strange, Multiverse of Madness, to then see how this all ties together. I know Marvel has a plan. I don't see it yet, but I know it's there. And the end of Loki really showed how it's starting. Because, you know, we had all seen the rumors about all the Spider-Mans coming together. We'd even seen pictures of Michael Keaton.
He is, but not as
exactly. So there's a lot of stuff happening here.
He's in both. He's doing a lot. Now.
So there's a lot of stuff happening here. But this series, Loki, I never thought I would say this. I mean, I liked the Loki character and all in the movies, but I really liked him at the end of this. I was like, he's damn near a hero now. And I'm so fascinated as to where they're going to take him, not only in Loki season 2, which they showed that there's going to be, but in these movies. Tom Hiddleston took that character, which could have been a one-note, just sort of almost a cheesy villain, and he made him probably one of the most complex characters in the MCU that we've got. This show was just, I mean, Owen Wilson was great. I can't remember the one girl who was also in Lovecraft Country, who played the, what was it, B-15? Was that her? She's great. Sylvie, who plays Sylvie character, is great. Jonathan Majors showing up. I was like, what? And granted, like, his scene, it's an exposition dump, but he does it in such a way that it's just captivating to watch. He grips you. I've found out from then reading afterwards that he is Kang the Conqueror, but my understanding is what we saw in the episode isn't Kang the Conqueror, but one of his evil variants who no doubt comes to take over. Really,
or the least evil variant.
Yeah, he's the least evil.
Kang the Maintainer.
So maybe the more evil one, we're going to see a Kang the Conqueror. This series had such emotional weight. It had a complexity. We almost had a full character arc of Loki. Loki almost does a 180 in just who he is at the end of 6 episodes. That's amazing. And considering none of these episodes were any longer than maybe 40 minutes, they packed a lot into it. It was, oof.
Where would you put it on our scale?
Oh, this series, I'm going to give it a 9 out of 10.
Oh, wow.
I'm not and I won't give it perfect only because to me the series it's kind of an incomplete piece. It feels like a cog to a bigger story. So I don't get a complete story feel out of it, which in a sense, like when it ended, I was almost frustrated, like, oh God, you've got to give me more. But you understand why they're doing it because you're going to get the more in the future projects. So I totally understand. Right. I was like, oh man, I've been blown away so far with all the Marvel series. This one rises above the other two. It's the spectacle. It had great visual effects. It looked great. The soundtrack, I thought, that theme song is amazing.
The production design for this is so good.
It is. I'm really anxious, more so now, to see Loki, but also Jonathan Majors, because I'm just fascinated now with that casting choice. It's inspired. It's wow.
And he's showing up in like the IMDb pages of a lot of Phase 4 movies. So that's definitely a thing. I do feel like I don't disagree with you. This is definitely top shelf Marvel content. However, it felt very much to me like a tantric exercise. Like this was very much a delayed gratification show where it felt like it is a catalyst show to propel Phase 4 more than a thing that stands and lives on its own.
Right.
And it was kind of a bummer because like we had that really great premise and setup of Loki working with the TVA and partnering with Owen Wilson's character with Mobius, and like them having kind of like their buddy cop dynamic. And we got like the barest, hintest taste of it. Like it was like on the tip of your tongue, and they ripped it away.
They sure enough did.
For like two episodes we got of just like we almost tasted it, and they ripped it away, and then they replaced it with the Loki on Loki dynamic with the Sylvie character, and then we got like that thing was interesting and cool. We were like, okay, so let's see what happens here. And then we got right to the precipice edge of that, and then they ripped it away. And then it's like everything they're giving us all of these things that are going to be things, or maybe not going to be things, but you're introducing things, and it's like we get just enough to make us like they know how. I mean, I'm glad they don't sell drugs. Like they know how to get you like really invested and really wanting a thing, and then not giving you the rest of that thing because that rest of that thing is going to come in a later thing. So it was a very frustrating series for me. It was beautiful. It was well shot. The acting was fantastic. Yeah. The characters were great. I love Tom Hiddleston as Loki in that TVA outfit. I felt like it was really interesting how he was the worst of the Lokis we've seen at the beginning of this episode, because this is right after the first event.
Hold on. Hold that thought right there.
She wants to go out?
Exactly.
You already went out, and as soon as you let her out, she's going to want to come back.
Sorry, dog emergency.
It's
Continue.
Okay. Dog emergency, and I didn't even pause it. I could have just kept going, but it doesn't matter.
That's true.
Because what I'm saying is it was a very frustrating show. It was great. It was executed well. I loved the Loki variants we got to see. I wish we got to see them for more than half an episode, though. Like, I wish we got Owen. Like, I wish that it was all 6 episodes were Owen. If I had my druthers, and I know they're on the timetable and it's whatever, but if this was just a thing, it was just a show on its own. If we got all of these 6 episodes were Loki coming to terms with becoming a part of the TVA, and the Sylvie reveal was the last episode. Then season 2 is Loki and Sylvie figuring out their dynamic and coming together over 6 episodes, and we get the Loki variants and all that over 6 episodes, and then we end on that with Kang.
But maybe this is, and now after the third show, you can sort of see maybe this is the MCU formula for their shows. They're not.
It is.
They're definitely not meant to be wholly encapsulated stories on their own.
But this show specifically is better than that.
It's good.
As better than a vehicle to propel us into the movies. And I felt like it deserved more than that. Like it was. It sucked that it was so like that is what these shows are for, and I totally get that, and that's what we're going to lead into. But this show was better than that.
It was good,
and like it could have been if it was just that's what I'm saying. If it was just Loki as a show on its own, having nothing to do with the timetable of the rest of the MCU, it could have been like one of those watershed shows that people would watch and talk about and rewatch and talk about forever. Like it would be like the X-Files before it got bad. Like it would be one of those shows that's just a show on its own. As it stands now, all of these Marvel shows are vehicles that propel us that are going to propel us into Phase 4. They're kind of giving us the backstory, the launching pad into their next slate of movies. And I totally get that. And they came at a perfectly opportune time when everybody's plopped in at home. This was a good time for that. Like the timing was perfect. I don't know how many times I can say time in a show about time, but we're gonna max it out because that was time, and we're done with this now. But yeah, it's a great show. Watch it. Time.
Exactly. Yeah, I think we both agree. Awesome show. It's Marvel is on a roll. It can't lose. And what else can't lose is all of you watching this to hit that subscribe, hit that bell, get notified every time we post one of our 10-minute takes or any videos that we're doing. And to make it easier, you can always go to our webpage, tcatnetwork.com. You find all the links to all of our YouTube content, podcast content, as well as content. Good morning, Antioch. You can see the ship right behind Sheree there. It's getting built.
It's happening.
We're getting it's the 2.0 version. It is happening. So stay tuned for that coming through. But remember, hit subscribe, hit the bell, stick around. We definitely have more content coming up because it's things are now open. Things are coming out. We've got the movie streaming. We've got them in the theaters. So it's going to be a good deluge for the rest of this year. It's going to be a lot of great stuff. So until next time, see ya.